May 3rd through May 5th may go down as one of the most epic weekends in hip-hop history. Jay-Z and Nas, pack it up. Tupac and Biggie, done with the 90s. But as some of you may remember, this beef didn't start with the Metro Boomin track like that. This beef spans over 11 years. I mean, do y'all remember what the was going on in 2013? Barack Obama was president. People used to dress like this. And Kanye West was kinda normal.
O.J. Simpson, amazing.
A lot can happen in 11 years. And to really understand Drake's Family Matters and Kendrick's Not Like Us, we have to discuss the origin of this beef. What was the motivation and how we ended up with women beating and pedo allegations. However, the most important question is, who won this beef? So sit back and relax, and let's get into it. So context matters when it comes to this beef. Kendrick Lamar first sent shots at Drake's direction on the Big Sean track Control back in 2013.
That goes for Jamaica, be quick my name. Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake.
Kendrick's verse on Control really wasn't a shot directly at Drake, but was more of a shot to the entire industry. However, in interviews following the diss track, Drake wasn't pleased with the Control name drop. In an interview with Elliott Wilson, Drake states,
That verse was a moment to talk about. Are you listening to it now, at this point in time? Okay. And then, but it was real cool for like, you know, a couple weeks. That verse had no malice behind it because I saw him 5 days later at the VMAs and it was all love. So I wish he had come in there on that because I kind of lost like a little respect for the sentiment of the verse. If it's really everybody, then it needs to be everybody. It just can't be halfway for the sake of the people. But you know,
note that Kendrick also sent additional shots Drake's way during the 2013 BET Hip Hop Cypher.
Yeah, and nothing been the same since they dropped Control and ducked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes. Ha ha.
Now, before all of this, in Drake's credit, 2012 he did extend his hand to Kendrick Lamar and A$AP Rocky to be openers on his Club Paradise tour. At the time, that was the biggest tour that either artist had been a part of. He also lent his bigger name on both of their songs, Poetic Justice and Fucking Problems, respectively. From Drake's perspective, there must be some sort of feeling of betrayal on his side. So now, let's get into this beef. So the timeline in this beef is really important. On March 26th, the track Like That was released. And on that track, Kendrick dissed both Drake and J. Cole. Then in about 2 weeks, on April 13th, Drake responded to that track with his own diss track, Push-Ups. Drake then released Taylor Made Freestyle on April 19th. This is the song that had the Tupac and Snoop Dogg AI voices. Kendrick then responded on April 30th with the song Euphoria. And then between May 3rd and May 5th, we got a total of 5 different songs. Oh, god damn. Kendrick released 616 on May 3rd, early in the morning. Then by 11:30 p.m., Drake released Family Matters. Kendrick then released Meet the Grams 20 minutes later. Kendrick then doubled down and released Not Like Us on May 4th. Not even 24 hours and Kendrick Lamar dropped 2 songs. Drake then responded on May 5th with The Heart Part 6. Now this is unprecedented in hip hop. To give context, in the Jay-Z and Nas beef, Jay-Z dissed Nas with his track The Takeover in September of 2001. Nas responded with Ether on December of 2001. That is a 3-month buffer for just 2 songs. In a month and change, we got over 10 different songs. As hip hop fans, we gotta be grateful. So I'm gonna skip ahead in the timeline and talk about Family Matters. The Family Matters diss track is paired with a cinematic music video, and the song is broken up into 3 parts, similar to what Kendrick did on his initial diss track, Euphoria. Historic rap jewelry is a theme in this beef, well, at least on Drake's side. The beginning of the video starts with a vintage G-Unit spinner chain. Now this is a callback to his bars on Push-Ups when he says, got me talking like I'm 50. Next, we have the chains that was purchased from Pharrell's Jupiter auction. The first time these chains were ever mentioned on a song was the Travis Scott track Meltdown. Drake sends shots at Pusha T, claiming that he melted down the chains that he bought from his boss. But as we can see, these chains are intact. Side note, these chains were purchased for over $2.1 million. Next, we have this ring. This ring was bought from Drake from a Tupac estate auction. During the third part of the song, the video was shot in the restaurant New Ho King. This is the restaurant that was referenced by Kendrick Lamar in Euphoria, and was also the scene of the crime when Drake was robbed in 2009 for his AP. Another Easter egg is that you can see that Drake is wearing a FUBU hoodie, which is a response to Kendrick's mention of FUBU in the track Euphoria, and we can see a van is being crushed. This is a reference to the van from the Good Kid Mad City album cover. Alright, let's get into the actual disses. Family Matters is a quintessential Drake song. It's dark, it's moody, and it's catchy. And most importantly, it's hella sassy, and I say that with the utmost respect. Drake sends a lot of damning allegations Kendrick's way. He calls Kendrick a cuck by alleging that one of his best friends, Dave Free, is actually the father to one of his children. He then accuses Kendrick to one of the most horrid crimes ever. He claims that Kendrick Lamar is a woman beater. Drake claims that Kendrick Lamar was physically abusive to his wife. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's true. And without any real evidence, I don't think anyone should believe that. However, am I mad that Drake took that route? Not really. Gossip and lies has always been a part of rap beef. Ask Faith Evans what she thinks about Tupac's Hit 'Em Up. Now, if Drake was beefing with any other rapper, this would have been an easy checkmate. Drake planned to control the next few days and have this song circulating. But guess what? He's not rapping with any other rapper. He's battling Kendrick Lamar. Now, the lead up to Family Matters was such a unique experience. Before Family Matters dropped, Kendrick dropped 616 with a bunch of Easter eggs. He had the entire internet trying to decipher the meaning like he was the fucking Riddler. So after 616 dropped, Drake then drops Family Matters. And then 20 minutes later, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. That is some calculated shit. So let's get into Meet the Grams. I wouldn't call this a diss record. This is 6 minutes and 32 seconds of vitriol. Pure hatred. The song's structure is written in 4 parts and is addressing each member of the Graham family. More on that later. In the song, Kendrick alleges that Drake is a deadbeat father, that he enables sex offenders, that he's obsessed with prostitutes, that he's a coon, that he abuses drugs. He tells Drake's parents that they raised a horrible human being and that he also wishes that Drake would die. Oh, and that Drake is hiding another child. Chill. Now, I don't think that allegation is true, but guess what? It honestly doesn't matter. All Kendrick had to do was change the narrative. Experiencing this live was insane. I went from being so hyped listening to Drake's song Family Matters to feeling completely shit when Kendrick completely stomped on Drake's moment. And that was such a strategic move. Now, if it wasn't enough that Kendrick effectively stomped on Drake's cinematic release of Family Matter, the next day he drops another track, Not Like Us. The catchy West Coast bop was produced by DJ Mustard and is Kendrick's version of Back to Back. The song has too many quotables.
Call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro. Nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. I'm certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
I think the part of the song that has the most sting is the last verse. Kendrick flips Drake's slave reference on Family Matters and explains how Drake is just a cultural colonizer. He name drops Future, Lil Baby, Quavo, Young Thug, 2 Chainz, and explains how Drake only fucks with Atlanta for street cred or for whenever he needs a hit. And he does all of this while staying true to his California roots. He decides to rap on a Cali type beat, and rapping on a regional beat is something that Drake cannot do. Now, the last diss track by both parties was released by Drake, and that song is The Heart Part 6. Now, that track is essentially Drake refuting all of the PDF allegations and claiming that all of the information on Meet the Grams was actually fed to Kendrick through a mole, which in my opinion is such a weak attempt to sway public opinion. This is the same guy who had an entire music video filled with Easter eggs. So you're telling me that you didn't have proof ready to go as soon as Kendrick used the misinformation that you quote unquote fed him? Drake, come on. We are not dumb. So in conclusion, man, Kendrick was just much more strategic than Drake. It seemed like Kendrick was really willing to crash out about this on some kamikaze World War II type shit. But I'm gonna keep it a bean. Drake held his own. He didn't run from the fade, and Family Matters was one of the best tracks released from both parties. I would rank it like 2 or 3. However, it seemed like Drake was playing games when Kendrick was ready for war. To quote J. Cole,
"Niggas wanna see blood."
Yeah. K-Dot wanted blood. Also, Drake did no favors with The Heart Part 6. The outro was corny, and the song sounded like he was waving a white flag. So if I had to give a winner, I'm giving it to Kendrick Lamar. He beat Drake at his own game, His songs are currently charting better, so he's beating Drake in the numbers game. And the jokes and memes being made at Drake's expense are fucking hilarious. Anyway, this was a great moment for hip hop, and thank God no one got shot. Oh!
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Cause my top 5 is Drake, 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 Drake.
Broke it off, then you know it was